Hey there everybody and welcome to a new gameplay series for Heroes Hour. I'm Icon and we're going to play Decay Faction on challenging difficulty one more time. This time though with a medium-sized map. I got destroyed very hard the last time I tried these guys, so I want to check out if we can do better this time. Because I learned a lot during my last matchup, and I also heard that other people were quite unhappy with the impact of their Decay experience, so let's go for it. Necrotica. Oh, what a delightful name. So, the first things first, we're going to set up a tavern again and hire ourselves a second hero. Or do I wait a day for that? Give me a sec. So, yeah, we're going to wait a day for that, because I'm going to rush for the champion statue here right away. I learned that the champion statue is stupidly important for your early game, and therefore I don't want to skip out on it ever again. So up here we have I'm pretty sure this is the ore mine, and I also could think that the rest of the enemies sitting up there, the resources. Alright, let's pick up that obelisk. And also send this hero back. Maybe I'll need him. Alright, so we're fighting against Pillar. And we're now going to build the champion statue. So in case you're wondering why the heck am I now rushing for this so hard, it gives your heroes the bodyguard skill. And bodyguards is one of the most broken mechanics I've found so far in the game, in case you are unfamiliar with it. Bodyguards gives the hero in combat a friction of the most powerful army in your empire as free troops whenever he fights. Oh, that's sick. Technically, you can send heroes without any armies on top of your enemy, and due to bodyguards, they will have magically here 50% of the power difference between this and the main hero's army, up to 200 power per rank. So you'll receive a certain amount of the power of your main hero, and that's just massive. And I also think that this is very, very important to win hard with the Decay faction. Okay, so let's check out our characters here. Malediction. This dude has recalcitrance that spawns spirits. We have easy access to archery. More damage for elite creatures. Necromancy is not the highest stat, but that's okay. He's a Lich Master. I like the looks of that. There comes Wisdom, Swarming, Sorcery, Mysticism, Logistics, Bodyguards down there. Arrow and Terramancy, Oligarchy. Okay, well. Let's look at this dude here. Bane, well, in case you're unfamiliar with it, this here is a spell. This is an ability which transforms enemies into undead people if they are afflicted by a spell, and this one transforms enemy units into undead if they are killed by the hero himself. A little bit more complicated it is, but just to give you a quick impression. Legion, Mastery. This dude is a Skeleton Master. Recruitment, very powerful, increases the weekly growth of all the troops in your town, so this is a quite big feat. Pyromancy, Logistics, Archery, Offense, Tactics. So this dude only has one skill available for me that's important for my entire empire. So, well, let's see. I can't really afford any other heroes right now, as much as I'd love to, but I won't. Alright, so let's create ourselves a couple of troops here, and head over to this hero here, and give him all the troops. So we got a little bit of an army going on. So the first place here is only moderate difficulty anymore. Let's scout ahead a bit. Okay, here we go. So, well, just wondering, should I wait another turn? Yes, I'll do this. Or, no, I'm not gonna. So, moderate difficulty on both of these fights. Moderate is usually where you should be okay with the fight. So we got skeletons and bone guards, and we got one big soul mage. The enemy side is entirely composed of melee units, so we don't need to be that worried about it. So we got a force field spell. Increases health and sturdiness, but decrease movement slightly. Alright, that's pretty spiffy. So who cares about mobility if your troops are already engaged in combat? And if we lose a couple of these skeletons, it really doesn't matter too much. What matters is that we don't lose any of our bigger units here to begin with. Yeah, no more spells are really necessary here. Oh gosh. Lost a lot of the skellies. A dozen of them, and most of the bone guards too, but whatevs. So, what's gonna be my first thing to do? I'm going to go for the Master Ray, because seriously, 3 liches? Massive. Or I could go for the Necromancy, but honestly, I do know that the liches are actually the more powerful part about it, so this army is flagged as challenging. I don't want to lose an unnecessary high amount of units here, so how do we do this? Ah well, I'm going to head back to town and recruit a couple of extra units. So we got what we need here. Crypt. The tarantulas are slowing. Or we'd go for the Lost Souls and the Haunt. Death Seekers. Goes into hibernation if they would normally die. Savage and slow. Well, slow units are a little bit problematic. Lost Souls. So we're either going for Lost Souls or tarantulas first. I'd say I want to go for the Lost Souls. They are ethereal, that lets them avoid getting hit quite decently. And I think that's all I'll need to conquer this place. Ah, silly me. Ah well, we can do this still. It's okay. Here's a little trick that I learned. You can't transport armies easily by just giving them to a hero who's still featuring movement points, so... There we go. Because I find it very, very important to recruit these troops as quick as possible, to free these buildings as quick as possible. So just want to take care that my Lich is not getting swarmed by these dudes. Looking good though. My main hero created a couple of units for me. Wonderful. So, well, raise units spending mana? Yeah, you do you. You don't have any use for your mana otherwise, so definitely worth it. So, Skeleton Mastery. Why not? 3 units are best units. So, what I keep saying. Alright, so we got the most generic resources now available. Wonderful. Still haven't figured out which one of the heroes I actually want to focus on. This way, I can just use them both for now. I like that. So, what are we going to build here? The Soul Beacon. Oh, yeah. Catches souls. Let's see. Grabbing new resources and mines is absolutely important during the early phase of the game, so here's a little bit of stuff we can grab, but all in all, this is the exit. There's the portal. Not that important to begin with. So we're going to swap our army back to our other dude, and let's see what he'll uncover. And I'd say we're going to make a stop at Necrotica, so now I know what I want to build. I'm going to build the crypt. Not going to take the zombies, I'm going to stick with the tarantulas. I want to avoid slow units as much as I can for now, because slow units have one particular weakness, thanks for this certain somebody who pointed that out in the comments. Slow units have a high tendency to get hit by more arrows than other units, because, you know, it's easier to aim at them, and they receive more shots before they actually get close to their target, so I think it explains itself quite easily, although it did take me a moment to actually realize it, but yeah. So TLDR, slow units, if you can avoid them, because, you know, they are quite easy fodder for enemy ranged units. And that's not necessarily a good thing. So we have 2 times the same item here? That's uncommon. Okay. That's uncommon, you know? Alrighty, so let's grab ourselves that chest. Gold or mercury. Mercury is a very important resource for the Necromancer faction in general, but I feel like there are more important things right now. So the ancient tomb would spawn Nosferatu each week. Oh dear. Sounds delightful. We've got to capture that later, I'd say. So, Soul Beacon does spawn new units from killed units. Do we want to take that right away, or is there anything more important? I'm at... yeah, let's do this. War Academy, Tarantula Expert, or Well of Power. That's a hard one for me, but I'll take the extra units. I always have a hard time deciding which one of the upgrades is actually more powerful. Whether to go for the stat bonus or the unit growth bonus. I have a very hard time figuring that one out. So there's a roaming hero right next to the graveyard. So this will summon skeletons each week. This is a very, very simply grabbable location. There's stables, there's a gold mine. So all the advanced resources are a little bit harder to grab. So I'll wish for knowledge. If I can't get a free stat increase, I'll take that. By all means. So, the puzzle clues are trolling me a little bit, because that one is hard to get. But let's see. This definitely is a little bit blurry. So, what kind of mine has a big wheel behind itself? Oh, I hate it. When you don't have enough clues, it's really hard to read this. So, this is flagged as a hard thing, where I could recruit heroes from a tavern. Here we could go for the ancient tomb, but that's a pretty rough one. 1 to 5 of these dudes. These are among the most nasty things that you can meet here from the undead faction, so I'll rather take that with care. So, last 2 days, we can get a vampire mansion, so let's do this. Oh, my liches are really unfortunately combined there. So, good thing that I picked up the mastery skill that early on. It's going to be quite the pickle to unlock the building. Or crystal versus titan boots. We're going to take the crystal for sure. As nice as I find those those titan boots, they slow down your units, and you know what I said about slowed down units a moment before. So we're going to build a fort, and vampires? Yeah, vampires are super. Okay, let's recruit dudes and be stupidly strong. So, how's the thing? This is now challenging. Near impossible. I don't like the looks of that. So, dang. Very, very closely. Not getting that done. Damn. I would have loved to reach the graveyard this week, but obviously it's not really possible. So, I really don't know what that is, but 40 to 60 crossbowmen. Damn, that sucks. But, well, we'll get on top of them for sure. So, I mean, undead have one particular benefit. They are most often well armored versus ranged damage, because, you know, bones and all. Okay. I really need a mage's guild, I think. But I think also... oh, dang, we're losing the vampire. No! You filthy... This is one particular downside of this faction that I've already noticed. You are really, really suffering a lot more from losses than other factions. simply because you don't have access to the infirmaries. So Decay is one faction that doesn't retrieve 50% of their losses after each fight, and that, I personally find that one of the most severe disadvantages of this faction. Okay, so let's upgrade a little bit, eh? What's the superpower of Corpse Eaters? 81 health versus 64 health. Bone Guards, 42 health versus 33 health. Banshee, 70 health versus 55 health. Yeah, it's totally worth it to upgrade these units. If you can't afford it, that is. Now, but I'm not gonna upgrade anything. I'm gonna be buying myself some spells. Spiffy spells. Okay, so... is there anything I can plunder here? No. Sadly not. Dang. Quite a rough start, not gonna lie. I've had better. Okay. So, let's see. This dude is flagged as a hard fight. I need money. That's one of the most important parts right now, so we're going to get over there. The enemy has no ranged units, so that's a pretty good thing. So what's the spells now? Disrupting Ray increases health. Salt Spray. That's good against summoned units, and slow increases movement speed. Yeah, okay. So let's use that Disrupting Ray on our other enemies. I mean, that's also a form of dealing damage. And most importantly, everybody who's being afflicted by my spells has a decent chance of getting raised as a minion here. So, Bonelieth. I don't... Ow. So, regeneration was also a very important feat for this faction. Archery. Recalcitrance. I feel quite attracted to Recalcitrance, but now let's go for Archery first. This hero is maining Liches after all, so this skill might be really handy. Hydromancy skill plus, I want to have that on this dude here first. So, let's just slap this place. This shouldn't be any bigger problem. Sadly, we don't have any way of breaking those walls, but at least I have ways of armoring my troops, so... especially focusing my backliners here, because under no circumstances do I want to lose any of those liches. They are actually the most important part here to keep. Everybody else is expendable. It's just those liches. Okay, nice. We got ourselves a free source of skeletons now. I wish I had it already earlier, but you can't always choose. Okay, near impossible, hard, moderate. But never trust the moderate hero tag. More often than not, they are stupidly strong because they are spellcasters, so just a word of caution here. That really smashed me a couple of times in the past. So I'm not allowed to summon anything else than skeletons. Alright, free skeletons are also okay. Oh, look at that. There's the verdant pillar already visible. If I'd be playing Pyre, I could just jump over the wall at some point and snack their main city. That's quite unsettling. Okay. So we got a bit stronger. This flagged as challenging, hard, impossible, challenging, easy. So I personally find one of the most difficult parts of this about this faction is that you have to avoid losses so consequently, because there's always that problem. All the losses on your main army are not being replenished, not in a good way, and I personally think by now one of the best ways to tackle this problem should be to abuse the bodyguard's skill as hard as possible. So basically right now we are fighting with our main heroes, or with our main hero only because we have to. Later down the road we want to avoid that as hard as possible because we're always trying to kill our enemies with free artificial units if possible, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, don't worry, I'm going to show you what I mean later down the road. Now, swarming destruction. This dude has really crappy regenerations. I don't like that. Whenever creatures die, they have a chance to cast a destructive spell. Neat. Swarming. Champion. Elite creatures power plus. Are liches elite creatures? I have no clue. But I'm going to pump up recalcitrance so I can pump up the mastery, because I think that might be actually one of the more powerful things that our hero here has in store for us. There's a tavern down there. Wait a sec, this dude has free skellies. Let's serve. Okay, I got the center of Decay, and, well... I'm gonna start upgrading our buildings now, because upgraded units are a massive change of power. So, I don't know, that is not worth the risk of losses here to me. Rather upgrade and pick up troops and conquer that alchemist's laboratory there with the troops I got. I think that's going to be way more beneficial for me. So, upgrade them troops. Pretty costly, isn't it? So, just wondering whether or not to buy those vampires. But I think no, I won't. Smaller troops are way easier replaceable, and I tend to be a little bit mad when my high tier units die in very easy engagements, and therefore the easiest way to avoid that is just not bring them. So we got mummies by now. They even petrify. My god. This is one of the more fun parts about the Necromancers faction. The skills you have are bringing you access to a lot of fun things to say. I don't have enough mana, okay. That's why buffing your units with a hero like this is so important, because a buff unit killing stuff will create new minions. Okay. Looking good so far. Except for that Jinn bothering my backline. Gentle reinforcements! Since when do I need reinforcements here? Dang. Okay. Let's see. So far, we've lost all of our spiders, which is quite bothersome, but not the end of the world. We've lost one vampire, which is really annoying, but also not that much of a deal. Jeez. So... easy fight. Yeah, I highly doubt that this is my personal definition of easy, but we got ourselves an alchemy lab, which is in itself extremely important, because alchemy labs produce that mercury, and mercury is just simply just like lifeblood for the Decay faction. Maybe that's the wrong word, but you get what I mean. Okay, we're a little bit low on money, so I'm not gonna be forcing here too hard. We're also pretty low on mana, so there's really not that much I can do. It's really bothering me that I have no access to this thing yet. But wait a sec, a mine with a wheel behind it. Hey. So, now we got it. It's... no, it's... so... it's all a bit blurry, but I'd say... We can only do this if we are close enough to do so. Okay. Here we go. Nice. Rabbit's Feet. Oh, this gives the estate skill. Nice. Oh, this is so good. The Rabbit Sat is really sweet because it gives your hero, let's see, recruitment skill. Well, not necessary right now, but oh, dang. Can't open that chest. But estates increases the income, and early game income increasers are just so great. I can't put it into different words, so at least we can build something. I hate it to be not able to build something per day during the early game. That always feels like a real loss. Child of Midas versus Leather Trousers. Oh, crap. These aren't really good units, but, you know, this ain't a good artifact either. Well, let's take the troop. I need troops right now to begin with, so I don't wanna say no when I need them. They also bolster up my troop roster, so might be not the units I wanted, but it's the units I need. All right. So let's grab ourselves some vampires and moderate difficulty on the crystal mine. Or easy difficulty on the hero. Or hard difficulty on the gold mine. The gold mine would be super fancy, but probably the hottest pod. Wheedle's Hourglass, +1 potency skill. Okay. Just checking out if there are things that look most appealing for the last day of a week, you know. But doesn't seem like that. So let's go for that hero. Consider heroes like these among the most easy enemies. So they got pretty strong ranged units. So let's send our dudes in there. And, yeah, let's slam a Disrupting Ray on top of them. Got a lot of those Soul Mages by now. Which are really great because they do splash damage. So I consider them among the most powerful things you can go for. That's why it's great that this hero has these units for free. Yeah, almost loss free. We only lost useless units. So, no, I don't want to raise Banshee, because these aren't that interesting. No, I want to have more mastery on the Liches, because that's more of these troops per week, and that's just amazing. Okay, so I can't get there. Another Staff of Ice? Are you kidding me? That's a third on this part of the map. Feels like something is a little bit bugged, isn't it? Alright, so what's bugging me pretty hard here right now is the fact that I have to build the Stronghold, the Mercenaries Hall, or I can build the Beacon. So it's pretty good that I have an automated income of these dudes. So it's week 3. We really need to upgrade our buildings here. So, well, Palace of Decay. Income is important. No income, no troops. So, well. But talking about income, I'm also pretty broke. So this is a hard fight. Moderate fight. There's Sulfur. That's an impossible fight. So I probably want to wait until tomorrow so I can grab myself a little bit of extra troops there. So we're able to swarm the gold mine. I think that's probably the best idea. Because the gold mine is giving me access to the stuff I really need most. Gold. Good thing that I found this this artifact set which increases my estate skill. Fewer money in it. Okay. So we'll just recruit a couple of troops, I'd say. As much as I'd like to go for the more costly troops, I like to recruit the cheap troops first. simply because they are actually worth it as expendable troops. Let's take the troop movement, and shouldn't I have a Nosferatu now? Weren't you guys promising me Nosferatus? Or are these now in town? Yes, Sanguinists. Okay. Yeah. Alright, moderate difficulty on that one now, with our given troops. What's there? Automaton. Okay. Inert. Can't be affected by stuff. Halberdier. Protected in spawning. So they ain't got no ranged attackers at all. That's a good start. I'm quite happy about that one. So... the topmost flank here is really... oh, well, this is just a filthy fight there. So let's use one Disrupting Ray to soften up the Automata. And hope we're going to get past this army. Sadly, I'm so hard right now. It's quite the hardest part I'm sad about, or the worst part I'm sad about. So let's put our frontliners there, and I want to draw my ranged units a little bit back. And they are... oh, wait a sec, it was... I want to order them to attack, not to move there. Dang. Why ever that doesn't work like I want it to. So no, that fight is not going out well. I mean, I probably messed up now with all that back and forth movement of my troops. I really wonder how the hell you can assign them to attack something, because the attack button is there, but I haven't made it now so far to make it work. A little bit stupid, I know, but... so we'd have to repeat that day. Alright. So, my dear friends, I'd say this is a good spot to drop this first video. We're going to continue in the next. I feel like Decay is probably one of the harder factions, because you really have to play around their weaknesses so much, especially since they can't be as carefree with their losses as other factions. I find that probably the hardest part about them, but let's see. Maybe you guys have some good tips for me, some good ideas, stuff that I haven't thought about. I'd be delighted to hear from you in that regard. So see you all in the next episode. Drop me your comments down below, leave me a thumbs up, and I am very much looking forward to the next run of this. See you guys soon, and goodbye.